Hello ladies and gents, welcome back to the channel. Mantle Productions here, or Peter. Today I'm going to be flying a Canadian regional Fokker F28 flight from Halifax in Nova Scotia over to Montreal in Canada. We've got some ATC coming online this afternoon, and as you can see we've actually got a huge amount of traffic in and out of Halifax, so I thought I'd take the opportunity to jump online and see what Halifax is all about. I've often wanted to fly in and out of Halifax, but I've often found myself simply flying over Halifax on my way up to Gander on one of the retro routes that I do with prop aircraft. But yeah, here we are at Halifax, and let's see how we go. Okay, so we're inside the aircraft. Yep, and I can just see that Halifax control, arrival, departure, delivery, and ground are all on. So we're going to have a really enjoyable flight out of Halifax. Fully staffed. Almost, well, pretty much. So we're going to start to get the aircraft set up. First thing we do is turn the anti-collisions and the nav on. Let's just make sure the controls lock is on. It is a windy day. Hydraulics are all on, that's good. Let's pull our flight plan into the aircraft. Refresh. So we are Halifax to Seoul, so that's correct. And it will also bring in the weights and balances. So just over 3 tons on either side. We're rolling with 65 passengers today. And let's just reset our CG. We've got ground power on, so let's get that on now. Oh, that is already on, actually. Let's put the seat belts and no smoking on as we go. And everything else at the moment is okay. Let's just jump to my checklist. Now, in previous live streams of this aircraft, I've not really paid much attention to checklists. I've just kind of done my own thing, which sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. So today we're going to try to do full checklists, which is going to be good. Let's do the before starting APU. Battery voltage, let's check that. So the battery voltage, we should be able to see if we come up to the DC. If we go BAT1, we can see the battery voltage there, so that's good. Battery switches on. Yep, we do have battery switches on. APU fire extinguisher warning test. Now that is down here. APU fire. There we go. That is tested. APU main switch on. So let's now, after testing it, let's put the main switch on. And then the Gen 3 switch needs to go off. It needs to make sure that's off and reset. So it's off, reset, set. APU air switch is off. Yeah, that's also off at the moment. Air conditioning main switches, one on and one off. So that's where we've got the left one off and the right one on. That's that done. So let's go the starting APU checklist. So APU start button pressed. You can now press that button and that will fire up the APU. TGT and RPM rise check. So let's check the TGT and the RPM, which is up here. So you can see the TGT is rising up and stabilizing, and the RPM should rise and stabilize into the green, showing that we have a clean start on the APU. And I wish there was a way of turning off that cabin music, or having them automatically turn that off for me, because it seems like when you do line flights in this, once they turn it on, they never turn it off. Okay, so that's stabilized, and the light's extinguished. APU start button light extinguished after approximately 45% RPM. TGT and RPM stabilized. We've checked that after Gen 3 switch on. So let's put the Gen 3 switch on. You can see the AC load come online and the master radio switch on as well, which is both of them are on set to on. So the pre-flight check. Now this, I think this is, yeah, this is the horrendously long one. So electrical power check. We do have electrical power. The battery, we've got bus battery 2. On the AC we have Gen 3, obviously, so we do have electrical power. Emergency light switch arm, so that is this here. We have it, that's off, that's on. Constant speed drive disconnect, switch guards closed. I believe that's constant speed. Oh no, is it, it's these ones here. Constant speed drive disconnect, they are closed and wired. Engine panel check. So the engine panel, all of our engines are off and cold. So that's that checked. Bleed air supply panel check. That's up here. So we've got the bleed air supply up at the top. We've got autos and on, which that's the way it should be set in this configuration. Air conditioning panel check. So the air conditioning panel is this one here. And it's currently sitting just under 20 Celsius, so that's about 18, 19 Celsius, so we're good. And I believe it should usually, yeah, it's usually set to auto. So the duct pressures, or the duct temperatures coming in are just under 20 Celsius. So the cabin itself is just under 20 Celsius. Although, if we go to see the outside ambient air temperature, it's just under 20 Celsius as well, and we've got the door on, so that's not really going to make a huge issue at the moment. Thankfully, it's quite warm actually for October in Canada, or Newfoundland. So airfoil anti-icing panel check. So because we are under 20 Celsius ambient on the ground, we set the windshield heating to low. We'll probably come across that later in the checklist, but I'm going to do that now. So the pressurization, we're going to go up to flight level 210 today, so I'm just going to set 210 on the cabin pressure. Ready for climb. Engine and anti-icing panel check. And again, so those are going to be on auto, and we're going to just have them on off or / reset until the ice detected flat shines at me. And yes, this one right here, ice detect. So pitot and vane heating panel check. So currently on off. Let's put them on on. Probably ask me to do that later on. Windshield heating, we did just now. Oh, hello. We did just now. Pressurization panel, we just set that. Fasten seatbelts, no smoking on. And again, that's going to spasm at me. So nav sets on and set. We set the nav lights on. Oh, the nav sets. Sorry, no, the nav sets are on. So this is a persistent state aircraft. It was set up the way it was when I left it last, so some of these things are already switched on, just because I didn't switch them off at the end of the last flight. Fire control guards are all closed, those 3 there. Fuel shutoff valve indicators are on open. They are on shut. Yes, they're on shut. I don't know. Fuel shutoff valve indicators open. I don't know what open means because... Oh, open. They shouldn't be on open. They should be on shut at this stage. It's a pre-flight check. GDW system check. Now the GDW system set to 200. I'm going to leave it at 200. I could be wrong and actually I've not set that correctly. I've completely misidentified that, but I think that's what that is. Central warning, there's a lot of checklist stuff here. Central warning and caution system test. That is what I'm looking at. Yeah, all of them work. That's good. Nose wheel steering on. So nose wheel steering is on. Yes, it's set on. Alternate wheel brake handles forward. Yes, those 2 are forward. So, all LH instrument panel. All indicators Yep. Speed attitude command system, check. So the speed attitude command system. Now this is where I should probably go into, at some point I knew I was going to have to pull this up. Preflight, check. This is the 54 different things. This is the LH side panel. No, it's the LH instrument panel. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Okay. Right. Yeah, yeah. Testing slow. Testing fast. Yeah, let's just watch that while we press that as well. Yep. Looks good. Looks good. Sweet. Static pressure, normal. Yep, so that's on the normal. Compass up. Guard closed. Yep. Electric pump switches, guards closed. Yep. Guards closed. And skid control check. Yeah. Outboard and inboard, looking good. Okay, so the central instrument panel and pedestal. All indicators. All indicators are looking okay. They're looking as they should. Hydraulic supply. Yeah, so these ones down here. They're all looking good. They're looking as they should. Fuel pressure lights. So the fuel pressure lights are on. And we do have the all of them off, or all of them extinguished, but it's because we got the left and the right sides on. Engine fire warning. The engine fire warning is this one and that one. Tested. TVIs are on 0 on either side. It said TVIs test. It shows me the flashing gauges, but it doesn't show me where the knob is to test those, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. Central caution lights. I prefer bright. Fuel quantity, yeah, we did check the fuel quantity. We had yeah, just over 3,000 kilos on either side, confirmed, and 0 in the mains, in the main tank, in the not the wing tanks. Lift dumpers, check. Yeah, so lift dumper is currently not armed. That's correct. TTT switches are on takeoff, which they are. Speed brake, check. So the speed brake well, it doesn't work because there's not hydraulic pressure, but oh, that's cool. That's cool. It's released, but it's not retracted because the retraction requires hydraulic pressure, but the release doesn't require hydraulic pressure. Or it does, and it just expended all the hydraulic pressure. That's cool. So flaps, check. Of course they're not going to work because we don't have any hydraulic pressure, but you know, I've got full travel there. Crossfeed switches off. Where am I? Crossfeed switches. So the center tanks are off. crossfeed. Crossfeed switches. Yes, the crossfeed is off. Booster pumps, check. Yep, so yep, we've already looked at that. Transfer pumps, check. Yep, we looked at the transfer pumps. We turned them off. Light switches, on or off. Yep, so we've got the anti-collisions and the nav on, and we don't. That's all we need for the moment. So let's just catch up with this checklist. Communication and avionics. So for communication and avionics, we've got. Yeah, we will set those up soon. Let's just put that on standby. Let's put the transponder on standby. Unicom on COM 1 and COM 2. We'll set those up as we call ATC. Autopilot check. Autopilot is currently off, but the roll and pitch dampening is in. That's correct. Hydraulic flight control panel. Again, yeah, all of those are forward, as they should be. Gust lock is on. We did check that. Alternate landing gear handle is up. So the gust lock is up, and the alternate, I believe, is that, which it is up. Okay, so now we need the right instrument panel. All indicators. Okay, I'm gonna call that okay. Static pressure and pitot selector. Yeah, is correct. Door lights. Test the door lights. Hello. I don't see any click spot for the door lights. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Landing warning. Yep, the guard is closed. So that's the landing warning switch done. Compass up and DG switch. Yep, and that's also done there as well. Okay, so now all we have is the right side panel here. That's the central warning test. Nope. Cabin ventilation is normal. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. We could put on the air now from the APU. Central warning caution, yep, and flight recorder set. I'd never worry about the flight recorder. I'm not going to worry about that now. So, pre-departure check with the APU running. Circuit breakers are in. I'm not going to worry about that. Oxygen check. That is behind the... Yeah. APU air switch, yep, we just turned that on. Windshield heating low or off. Fasten seatbelt, no smoking is on. Central warning and caution system test. Skid control, we did test that. Engine fire warning test, we did test that. Fuel consumed indicators set. Now, this is something I've never really touched before, but they're on 0-0, so we've not used any fuel yet. I believe. Aircraft weight has been set. TTT switches are on takeoff. Nav light switches on or off. Flight recorder set. So before starting engines, rudder pedals and seats and harnesses. Electrical power, bleed air supply has been done. Brake pressure. Now the brake pressure, there's the temperatures. The brake pressure is something I've never... Let's go and get... This is the before starting. Oh, okay. It's not a gauge. I always think it's on. You know what? We can shut the door now. And we've got the APU on, so we can actually dispense with the ground power now. So let's get rid of the ground power, actually, and let's close the cargo doors. Right, checklist. Parking brake is on. Fuel quantity has been checked. Pressurization has been checked. Thrust index. Right, now, thrust index. This you need to go to your manual document for. And you also need to pause to drink some tea as well, of course. Fokker F28, let's go to the manual. Now, I think it's on page 232. That's kind of the ballpark of where my brain is going, because I've had to check this a couple of times. I'm just going to go to page 232 and see what I can see. Yep, boom, 232. So it is for... What is the outside air temperature? It's just under 9. It's about 19 Celsius. So for 19 Celsius, which is just under 20 here, for... What is the airport elevation here? Airport elevation is, at Halifax, let me just check this, 477 feet. So for 477 feet, we're about 400. So for under 20, so it's basically 170. That's the closest number that they give us. Excuse me, that they give us. So that means that we need to turn these little dials that look like screws, but they're not screws, up to 170 on either side. That's what that is. Nav aids. Right, nav aids. We're going to be going outbound via the Halifax VOR, which is 1510. So 1510, we're going to put on nav 2. 1510 set, and the outbound radial is going to be, our first radial outbound is a 303. So that's going to go here. Let's put that in the course. 303 set. Okay. Now let's go. Ship's papers are on board. Takeoff data, checked bugs and set. So with the bugs we're going to use, if you come down to this little white placard, if you look at the V2 speed, the flap retraction speed, the single engine climb is there. So the flap retraction speed is 147. The V2, so the V2 is what we're looking for. Or actually V-rotate is what we're looking for, 128. So if we click on 128, we want flaps 11 as well. So the 128, that's given us 137. Okay, it's given us V2, but we know V-rotate is just under... Yeah, we know V-rotate is just under our thingy. So there's that gust lock. We're not going to remove... Actually, no, sorry, I'm not going to remove the gust lock. Not until I get to the threshold. Windows and doors closed. Cleared for start. So anti-collision light switches are on. Throttles are idle. HP fuel valve levers are shut. Yes, they are now shut. They were I was told to open them earlier on, but I've shut them now. Booster pump switches are on. Starter master switch is going to go on right now. Okay, so let's close up that old checklist. Now, the next thing we need to do, before we get ahead of ourselves... Oh my goodness, there's a lot going on at Halifax today. Kind of glad I came online, because... Yeah, until we get hydraulic pressure, the speed brake is just going to be stuck out. So I'm going to pause track IR for you guys, and we're going to pull up our flight plan. So our flight plan today, let's go flight plan, and we're going from CYHZ, just for you guys to follow along if you wanted to Yule. Let's go CYYYZ as our alternate. 1558, we're about 1600, so let's go 1635 for takeoff. Time and route based off our SimBrief flight plan is 128. So put 1 hour 28. Fuel available, we've got fuel available 1 hour 55. And we're going to go up to 2100 or 21,000, and cruise speed is about 260. So that's going to be, let's just go pull up my I'm using a little nav map for my VOR to VOR navigation. CYHZ. Direct YHZ. Actually, I'm not going to make this difficult for him. YHZ, YSJ, MLT, YUL, CUL. Okay. No GPS. So I've said no GPS. RNAV only. Because I had a controller ask about that. No GPS, RNAV only. Only VOR to VOR navigation radar vectors, please. We are good to go. Actually, yes. Yes. It's just I did a double take on the equipment suffix, but that's good. Okay, so that is essentially us ready to rumble. Let's pull up Navigraph charts and just double check our because he's going to want to give us a SID, and I don't want a SID that is not RNAV capable. There we go. So runway 23 is they're saying, oh, actually that says runway 23 is not used, but it definitely is in use. But we'll just see what he is going to give us. So SIDs, he's the only one available is Halifax for departure, whatever that means. Climb heading or as assigned for vectors. It's basically a departure that says it's vectors. Transitional altitude at 18,000. Safe altitude within 100 nautical miles is 2,900. Maintain 5,000 or as assigned. Okay, so that's pretty much tells us that there's going to be no SIDs. So let's call up ATC now. Let's call up ATC on delivery, which is going to be fun. So delivery is 123.95. Is 123. $123.95. So let's just pause track R again and just double check we are good to go. Let's just say no, we need to be on VHF 1.
Cargo Lux 16 pushes start at your discretion. Call
oh
ground
my
121,
goodness.
for taxi.
Yes. Yes, VATSIM. Delivery, good day. Canadian Regional 562 with you.
Canadian Regional 562 delivered.
Thank you. Delivery, Canadian Regional 562 requesting IFR clearance as filed.
Canadian Regional 562, you're cleared to the Montreal Trudeau Airport via the Halifax 4 departure, flight plan route, departure off 14 squawk 4343.
I'm sorry, say again for Canadian Regional.
Canadian Regional 562, cleared to Montreal Trudeau, Halifax. Actually, change of plans there, so I got a big list here. Are you able to take flight level 200 or flight level 220?
Either or. 200 is fine for me, thanks.
Canadian Regional 562, roger, flight plan change, flight level 200, cleared Montreal Trudeau, Halifax 4 departure, flight plan route, departure off 14 squawk 4343.
That is cleared to destination as filed using Halifax 4 departure, runway 14, squawk 4343, and flight level change 200, Canadian Regionals 562.
Reback is correct. Push and start. Actually, call me for push and start.
We'll call for push and start, Canadian Regional 562. Thanks. All right. That is our
Halifax delivery, Delta 1 Tango, Mike, stand 27, info Echo to Washington Dulles.
That is our clearance. So he's given us cleared.
Delta 1 Tango Mike.
4343.
You're cleared to the Washington Dulles Airport by the Halifax 4 departure, flight plan route, departure off 14 squawk 4374.
Right, so that's that set. So he has given us the Halifax 4, but
Cleared to
again,
Washington Dulles via
as we've
Halifax
looked,
4 departure.
the Halifax 4 is basically
runway
just
14. Squawk 4374.
We're going runway 14,
Delta 1 Tango
actually.
Mike.
That's going to be interesting. So that is coming off 143.
Delta 1 Tango Mike, readback is correct. Push.
So that's set
Actually,
heading
call me for push and start.
143.
We'll go.
Air Canada 44 Lima, ready
Set.
to push.
Okay, so we're pretty much ready to go.
Air Canada 44 Lima, push and...
Let me just double check
Sorry, where
that.
are you?
Halifax 414.
Ramp gate 2 Alpha, Air Canada 44 Lima.
Up there you are. Just wait for the cargo locks 16
So,
behind you.
hotel,
He should
basically.
Push back. He should be moving shortly. Once he's passed, push and start at your discretion. And ground 121.9 for taxi.
121.9, and we'll wait for the cargo lux right behind us. Push start at discretion.
Halifax.
44 Lima.
Ground 121.9. And delivery Canadian Regional 562, ready for push.
Canadian Regional 562, same for you. There's a cargo locks 160. He's about to taxi there in a minute. Once he's passed, push and start at your discretion. Ground 121.9.
We'll push after the cargo lux has passed and ground on 121.9er for Canadian Regional 562. Thank you. Okay, so let's go 121.9er on the next frequency.
Cargo lux has taxi behind us.
Cargo locks 1232.
121.9er set on COM 2.
Push and start at your discretion.
So,
Ground 121.9.
We've got anti-collisions on, we've got seatbelts on, we are ready to go. There's the cargo lux. And once he has moved, we will push. So let's just set up our push. We want to go back like this. Like so. Okay, he's moving. Okay, the one thing we need to be fast on is frequencies because we are fully staffed.
That's what 1232. That plane behind you is away. You can push and start your discretion and break Air Canada 44 Lima.
44 Lima, roger.
Okay, so a couple of things are going to happen pretty quick here. Start engine 2. There he is. He is cleared. Watch for the high pressure to come up to 15%, which is there. Introduce fuel. Ignition is beginning. And Southwest is also pushing. Wait for the TGT to get to 400 and then we go to open. Like so. Let's just double check. Yeah, oil pressure and TGT's oil pressure and oil temperatures come up. Okay, that's good. Let's start number 1. Same deal. Double check that all of our volumes are working as they should.
It's at 25, looking to pick up IFR with Echo.
Sorry, aircraft is that call and delivery?
Exec Jet 25.
Okay, ignition is beginning.
Jet 25, Halifax delivery. Good day, sir. Are you cleared to the Washington Dulles Airport, Halifax for departure? Flight plan route, departure off 14, squawk 4312.
All right, clear to Dulles, Halifax 4 off runway 14, squawk 4312 for Exec Jet 25.
Okay, he's
25,
pushed behind me.
Is correct. Call ground 121.9 for taxi.
Great, we'll clear ground for taxi. Thanks for help. See you.
Okay, taxi light is on as well. Everything is good. That's a good startup. And the... Okay, let's go ground. Ground, hello. Canadian Regional 562, ready for taxi.
Canadian Regional 562, runway 14, altimeter 3010, taxi up in your discretion. Hotel, hold short, runway 14.
Taxi runway 14, taxi via hotel, and altimeter 3010 for Canadian Regional 562, thank you. Okay, so...
Ground hello, Southwest 32, also requesting taxi.
Southwest 1232, runway 14, altimeter 3010, taxi up in your discretion, hotel or short runway 14.
Set flaps.
Southwest 032, taxi to 14, ground station, hotel altimeter 3010, taxi.
So the next frequency need is tower, which is 18.4.
Ground American 1918, information Echo, short of hotel, ready for taxi to runway 14.
American 191 just hold position for the moment, and I'll get you out as soon as possible.
Hold position, American 1918.
Let's just double check that that was indeed 18.4. Yes, tower is 18.4. So I'm going to just pop the parking brake on, because I think we'll be here a little while. We've got a CRJ on takeoff, we've got the cargo locks, and we've got an American here vying for the next slot. So hopefully he'll tell us... I know we're both looking at one another. Off goes the CRJ. Similar sort of aircraft to this, but a lot more modern. Probably doing a similar route as well. So let's just review things while we're sat here. Let's go to the checklist. We did do the whole thing after starting. Central warning caution system is out. Yep, everything on there is out. HB fuel levers are open. Fuel pressure lights are out. Ignition lights are out. Starter valve lights are out. Starter off. Generation Gen 3 is off. Yeah, APU air switch is off. Yep, that was turning off the APU. Pitos, hydraulic supplies checked. Yep, and the pitos are on. Hydraulic supply, electric pump switches off, guards closed. Flight control lights are out, flaps are set. That was done. taxiing, so flight instruments. He's going to move. I'm guessing I'm going to move now. I don't know where the south went.
American 1918, give way to the F28, currently taxiing. And hotel, hold short runway 14. Contact tower 118.4.
Way to the F28 and then taxi to runway 14, hold short via Echo.
American 1918, contact tower 118.4.
Tower 18.4, thank you for the ATC, sir. Good night.
Okay. So, trim has been set, collision tank indicators are black, flaps are correct, and crew briefing complete. So let's go, let's just go double check seats for takeoff.
Come through, please take your seats for takeoff.
And we're going to watch this cargo. We've got front row seat. He is indeed. He is indeed up my backside. Okay, so he gave us a flight level 200 clearance, but we've not been given an initial altitude as part of our clearance. So hoping the tower or director gives us that. Ah, yes. Excellent. Beautiful. Oof. Yeah, you don't... Oh, goodness me. Yeah. Yeah, okay. That's just weird model matching with the speed brakes there on takeoff, but there we go. And that... Goodness me. Goodness me, that's some performance there. He must be quite light. I'm assuming he's gonna call me on to the runway, or gonna let me. Oh, goodness sake!
Canadian Regional, if you're still with ground, contact tower 118.4.
1184. Thanks, Canadian Regional.
I can afford.
Tower, hello, Canadian Regional 562.
Canadian Regional 562, Halifax Tower, 0 car backtrack.
Negative for Canadian Regional.
Canadian Regional 562, wind airborne, contact Halifax Terminal, wind 16R13, gust 18, sub takeoff, runway 14.
Clear takeoff, runway 14, and after departure 123.905 for Canadian Regional 562.
1192 after departure.
1192 after departure. Sorry, Canadian Regional 562. So that's 1119.2. We're going to set that just before we hit go because we need to. Oh shoot! Yep, strobe. Like so, and turn. So that's 19.2.
American 1918, do you require backtrack?
Yes, sir, for 14, American 1918.
Roger.
$19.2 is set on com 2, right? Lift dumper's arm.
Power set.
Checked.
Okay, 1918, backtrack approved for 14, hold position.
Backtrack approved 14 and hold position one side. Backtrack or hold position still, sir.
1, 2, back direction.
Oh, okay. I've never taken off.
All good?
Climb power set. Halifax departure, Canadian Regional 562, passing 2,200 feet.
Canadian Regional 562, good afternoon. Identified on the climb out of 2,500. Continue your climb, flight level 200. Pick up a heading of 245 for now.
Climb flight level 200 and heading 245, Canadian Regional 562, thanks.
Jazz 3432 over to center now, 118.6.
118.6 for Jazz 3432. Thanks.
And that's 245.
Halifax departure, Canada 663, are we clear for Sumter?
245 set. Let's
Air Canada 663, standby. Air Canada 663, call center now on 132.2.
Center on 132.2, Air Canada 663, thank you.
Primary 4211, your discretion down to 5,000.
My discretion down to 5, Primary 4211 heavy, thanks.
up through 4,000. That's IAS. That's 250 knots. IAS.
Halifax departure, good afternoon, American 1918, passing 1,000 runway heading.
Correction, American 1918, good afternoon. Identified on departures at 1400. Continue your climb. Flight level 230. Pick up a heading. Actually, maintain runway heading for now. I'll have a turn for you shortly.
All right, up to flight level 230 and maintain departure heading, American 1918.
Canadian Regional 562, pick up a heading up 300.
300, Canadian Regional 562.
American 1918, right turn 245.
Right turn to
Set.
heading 245, American 1918.
Up through 6,000. Holding 250 knots. Climbing nicely, pressurization setting in. All going according to plan. I dropped the checklist there, but after takeoff, landing gear is up, flaps are up, lift dumpers are in, RPG, RPM, TGT, and TTC checked. Yep. Landing and flare light out. Yep. Engine anti-icing switches.
Cargolux 16,
auto or on.
Call center now, 118.6.
Auto.
Center 106.
Pressurization check. Yep, we did just check that. That's all functioning. Fasten seatbelt, no smoking sign is off. That's only after we pass 10,000, but that will be soon. So, and then the descent checklist is the last.
Canadian Regional 562 on course.
Course is 300 for 562.
562, roger. Pick up original flight plan.
We'll follow own navigation, thanks. Canadian Regional 562. Okay. So, my only problem is He's at 10,000 feet. And is he descending? Yeah, he's descending. Okay, so I'm going to turn north.
American 1918, direct Alex.
I'm going to turn north to engage.
Direct Alex, American 1918.
I'm going to turn north here, due north, to pick up the radial outbound from the Halifax VOR. So we're up through 12,000 feet. We no longer need the seatbelts or the lights.
Air Canada 44 Lima, Halifax approach.
Air Canada 44 Lima, go ahead.
44 Lima, you're supposed to call me and maintain runway heading. Stop your turn, maintain current heading at this time.
Maintain current heading, Air Canada 44 Lima, sorry, I haven't thought about that. Pretty sure it was in no time, so I didn't read it.
Air Canada 44 Lima, also check your squawk code. You're supposed to be squawking 4353.
4353, 44 Lima.
Lima identified at 4,000. Continue your climb flight level 230 at this time. I'll have a turn for you shortly.
Sir, for sure, it's level 230, climb maintain, Air Canada 44 Lima.
QNH 1013, set. Let's hit the beam so that we pick up that radial as we come in.
Air Canada 44 Lima, pick up a heading of 280.
Heading 280, Air Canada 44 Lima.
He was what I was worried about as I turned north. So. Up through 15,000 feet. We should be getting that radial soon now. Yep, there it is coming in. Yep, and there's it engaged. So we're IAS up to 20,000, which is
Prime Air 4211 cleared the ILS approach runway 14 via Modir.
ILS approach via Modir, Prime Air 4211 Heavy, thanks.
Yeah, that Prime Air, that's the 777 I was worried about crossing as I turned north, but I could see that he was descending and I was ascending, so and again, that's why the controller gave me clearance to do what I wanted, because he could probably see that I had the altitude, I had the block of freedom there.
4211, did I give you 14 or did I give you 23?
23.
Okay, so the next frequency.
I was going for 14 and you sidestepped me on 23.
Which I believe is 118.6.
Roger, make that clear the ILS via Dutier.
Clear ILS, Dutier 23 ILS, Prime Air 4211 Heavy will do.
Everything is looking good. Pressurization is still going according to plan. Batteries on. External power's off. Someone's using the toilet. All is good.
Canadian Regional 562, call center now on 118.6.
18.6, thanks for the ATC, Canadian Regional 562. Center, good afternoon. Canadian Regional 562 with you, flight level 200.
Canadian Regional 562, Moncton Center, good day.
Okay, just leveling out at 20,000, and as we level out, I'm just pulling the throttles back so we don't overspeed, which is always a good idea. Now we're inbound to a VOR called St. John. So let's pick up St. John on 13.5. And same radial of 303. And you can see we actually have it, so let's tune to it now. Let's go to 303 and beam. So now we're tracking to instead of from. And we can set up the next radial, which is to 17.9. Set. And that next one's 293. Set. Okay. Just pause track IR and just monitor the situation here. We seem to actually have pulled the throttles back to a good cruise regime because we're not increasing or decreasing horrendously. And there we are at cruise altitude in the Canadian Regional Fokker F28 1000. I do love the F28 in all its variants in MSFS, and I'm really enjoying researching the different historic routes that it would have flown in the different airlines that it would have been under. Canadian Regional is just one of them. I've been flying Piedmont and a load of European carriers as well.
Flight level 2054230.
America 1918 and Moncton Center, good evening. Climb flight level 280, clear direct AJ, balance the route and change.
Up to 280, and can I have the direct again, please, sir?
Direct AJ, balance the route, no change. American 1918.
Ice detected.
Alright, and then direct AJ and 280.
Right, okay, so with ice detected, we are on auto. And let's just turn those on as well.
Inbound Alex.
So we've got the wing and the tail, and we've got the engines on as well.
Transfer 280, Canada 440.
I've never actually seen any significant ice buildup on the F28 yet. But again, it's October and it's like 20 Celsius across the northern hemisphere at the moment, which is not horrendously conducive to icing. But we are down to about a negative 15 Celsius outside air temperature. So if we if we fly through this moisture, we should be picking something up. But again, I've never visually seen anything yet, but we're not really in proper winter conditions yet. I do look forward to flying the F28 in Canadian winter conditions, which I will do on the channel, which will be a lot of fun. But yeah, not seen any actual ice build-up on anything yet.
Canada 562, St. John altimeter when required 3000.
Was that 562? I'm just going to turn down my a little bit on the I don't know if that was me he was talking to. I heard 562 and he called out an altimeter setting.
I can the 440 if possible. Can we get Mach 0.75?
I do actually need to be a bit faster.
44 Lima, standby.
I'm gonna pop up the
American 1918, say Mach number.
I need to be 0.6. I'd say I need to be 0.6 at
you
least.
Want Mach number once we finish climbing, sir, or current?
Mach number in the climb.
Stand by.
He wasn't expecting that.
Mach 0.78.
Okay, check that. Break Air Canada 44 Lima. Speed is your discretion.
Ice detect again. So we're now at 0.6 Mach.
Speed, our discretion. Air Canada 44 Lima, thank you very much.
Actually, Air Canada 44 Lima. I'm going to change your air Mach decimal 75 or less in the climb, please.
Decimal 75 or less in the climb. Air Canada 44 Lima.
Air Canada 1918, contact Moncton Center 132.2. Good day.
This is the kind of flying I really enjoy. It's kind of retro, but it's not. It's not retro. It's not so retro that I'm completely out of sync with modern ATC conventions. You know, you can fly the F28 on VATSIM and still have quite a realistic experience, because the F28s were flying around, you know, up until the 90s, early 2000s. So.
Air Canada 44 Lima, Moncton Center now 132.2. Good day.
1322, Air Canada 44 Lima. Have a great day.
Okay, 562, Moncton.
Go ahead for Canadian Regional 562.
Okay, Regional 562, just want to make sure you copied the St. John alternate. Actually, it doesn't apply to you. You're above 18, disregard.
I'm on standard, so, I mean... Holding just above 0.6, so we're 0.61, we're about 0.62 Mach on the Mach number, if anyone ever asks. So, just passing over the water here. What is this water? What is this actually called? This little inlet above Nova Scotia. Where is this? I don't see a name for it on this map, but if I go Google Maps, I'm sure it'll give me some sort of name for what the body of water I'm currently. Is it just generically the North Sea, or is there something more? Okay, the Bay of Fundy.
And center, hello, is Jet 25 at flight level 230.
Huh. The Bay of Fundy. You learn a new thing every day.
Jet 25, Mark Center, good day, climb flight level 280.
Up to 280, Jet 25.
Yeah, we came online at, oh my goodness, we came online at Halifax at just the right time. Halifax is absolutely jammed. We got out just in time as well. That was a really fun departure. I really enjoyed that departure. Unfortunately, we have nothing online at Montreal, but we can conduct ourselves in a professional manner on Unicom.
Jet 25, contact Moncton Center 1322. Good day.
So we're inbound. We're under 20 nautical miles to St. John's, or St. John. So the next radial from St. John will be 293. So we're going to take a left-hand turn slightly onto 293 from 303. And we'll go outbound from St. John for a little bit until we hit about halfway between that and the next VOR, which is 17.9, which is Millinocket. And then essentially we're coming into New Brunswick, and we're crossing over into Maine, and then we cross Maine, and then we cross into, what is this? What is this state here? I need Google Maps again. Let's have a look at Google Maps. Okay, so. Oh, that's just straight up Canada. Okay, I didn't. I thought Canada followed the water there. Okay, no, that's just straight up Canada. And then I see. Interesting. Learn a new thing every day, like I say. And then so there's New Brunswick, which, yeah, that's part of Canada. Wait. Okay. Yes, no, that makes sense. Yes, that makes complete sense. Yes. I'm having a bit of a I'm having a bit of a moment here. I thought I thought America owned this bit as well, but no, it doesn't. So we're in Canada, we're flying across America, across the state of Maine, and then we're landing in Canada again. Okay. How dare you show your ignorance, your blatant ignorance. You British person. If the Canadians and Americans come over to Great Britain or England or you know, the inaccuracies they make are pretty atrocious as well. So I'm you know, it is what it is. I do love the Fokker F28.
Hotel. Did you want direct the airport? Do you want to stay on your boundary?
So all I need now in the Microsoft Flight Simulator is basically a long-haul version of the F28, and for me that is something like the VC-10 or the Lockheed TriStar, something like that. Long-range, early jet, 707. You know, just give it to me, please. And a lot of other people are asking for it as well. We need either a 707, a VC-10, a Lockheed TriStar, what, an MD-11 maybe, but that's kind of not quite as retro as I'm looking for. I think it's the L1011 Lockheed TriStar. I think it's the L1011. I think it's used to be called. But basically, I don't want anything with an FMC. I want something that has VORs and NDBs and DMEs. I don't want an FMC with GPSs. Get rid of that, and let's do some raw data commercial flying, please. That's what we want. Oh, and there we go. Like I said, raw data. I missed my turn, so let's just use the heading bug for the moment. Let's go over to 17.9, which is nav2. And actually, yeah, let's just go straight to beam, because I'm close enough to pick that up. So that's 293 set on 17.9 nav2. So we are acquiring that right now. Turns out we were pretty much just bang on, but that could have been smoother. And we're going to get that ice detect all the way across, because, yeah, that's what it is. Beautiful. Yes, we just need this exact same sort of situation, just in a long haul. Yeah, VC-10, 707.
Center Delta 63, flight level 230, direct alley.
We need the, what is it, the DC-8, was it? Yeah, it was the DC-8 or the DC-9. Let me just have a look at DC-9. No, not the DC-9, the DC-8. Yes, it's the DC-8 that we need. Either the DC-8, or the 707, or the VC-10, or the TriStar, the Lockheed TriStar. Was it the TriStar I'm thinking of? Yes, the the L1011 TriStar. Although that is slightly more modern compared to... If I go to the cockpit view... No, actually... I'm not seeing any... I'm not seeing any well, yeah, okay, you do have an INS, right. Which makes sense for the era. You would have an INS for long range. Exactly the same as what the Concorde has. Basically, you can recognize that INS unit, similar to that. And this is a British TriStar, you can see by the Golf registration. It's looking a bit worse for wear, but yeah, this is the sort of thing we need. So any of these aircraft from Justflight or anyone else, I would be on 100%. That's what we need.
132.2, Delta 63, so long.
And he's going to hand me off to Boston Center, which is 123.75. Not yet, but let's put that in. 123.75. $123.75 set. Let's just double check that. That is Boston Center. Yeah. So we will be crossing Boston Center airspace on our way over. Let's just double check. 22,000. Yep. There we go. And our decel point is going to be... Oh. Okay. Speed is holding. We are 77.7 nautical miles outbound from Millinocket. And all is good with the world. Yeah. We could turn off, let's turn off icing now, or...
Center, hello, Southwest 032 with 230.
Let's turn off the,
Southwest 1232,
the wing,
climb flight level 280.
Wing anti-ice, as we don't have that set anymore.
Roger.
I'm almost tempted to toy with the icing, just to see, actually let's just turn off the window anti-icing, just to see how heavy the icing would be if we fly into an icing situation. And as soon as we then see the icing situation, then we will turn that back on. But just to see it actually happen. Yep, so there's the ice detect. We're flying through some moisture here. So we should start to see some sort of ice buildup. So we've got the ice detect. So the engine anti-ice is on auto.
Southwest 1232.
The windshield is off, and the airfoil anti-icing is off. I don't visually see a drop of ice anywhere. On the nose, anywhere I would expect to see the ice forming. I don't see it on the leading edges of anything. Yet. Yep, it's gone again. I don't think the icing is strong enough. Oh, actually, no, yeah, I can see the beginnings of ice build up there. So that is actually a thing. I'm going to leave it turned off just to see what happens. I mean, we are, like I said, we are about negative 15 outside air Celsius, negative 15 Celsius on the outside air. So we'll see how that goes. We've got about 42 minutes left of the flight.
Center, then, good evening. Delta 1 Tango Mike, passing flight level 223 to 23.
Okay, he's going to hand me off to Boston pretty soon.
1 Tango Mike, Heavy Mountain Center, good day, climb flight level 280.
On to 123.75.
Flight level 280, Delta 1 Tango Mike.
Yeah, I can see the ice, the beginnings of ice.
74, flight level 200.
American 4674, Mountain, good day, climb flight level 230 initially. Vectors, your separation turn left 30 degrees.
Climb flight level 230 once again, heading American 4674.
American 4674, turn left 30 degrees.
Turn left by 30 degrees, American 4674.
Center, just to confirm, for Delta 1 Tango Mike, it was flight level 280.
That's correct, Delta 1 Tango Mike.
Thank you.
Yeah, he should be handing me off pretty soon now. I'm just to pass the border now from Canada into America, so he should be passing me over to Boston any minute now, any second now. Yeah, I can see the ice build-up happening.
Delta 1 Tango Mike, contact Moncton Center 1322, good day.
My airspeed has increased slightly.
Over to Mountain Center at 1T,
so let's just
132.2, Delta 1 Tango Mike.
Pull that down.
Moncton, good afternoon. NovaJet 70, flight level 230.
NovaJet 70, Moncton, good day, climb flight level 280.
Climb flight level 280, NovaJet 70.
American 4674, climb flight level 280.
Climb flight level 280, American 4674.
NovaJet 70, Moncton Center now 132.2, good day.
Moncton 132.2, NovaJet 70, good day.
American 4674, turn right heading 360.
Right heading 360, American 4674.
Is there a thing where he expects me to just randomly call, or does he have to tell me to leave his frequency? Is that a European thing, or do I just automatically...
Canadian Regional 562, Boston Center now 133.45 today.
13345 for Canadian Regional 562, thanks. 13345. He changed.
Thanks, kind of 440 on the thanks.
Boston Center, hello, Canadian Regional 562 with you, flight level 200.
Canadian Regional 562, Boston Center, hello.
Boston Center, Delta 63, flight level 360, climbing flight level 380.
Delta 60, Boston Center, hello.
So, 30 nautical miles inbound to Mini, whatever it is, Mini...
I Canada 4 kilo power, Boston.
Millinocket.
You need an odd flight level for your directional flight for your cruising, so would you like flight level 350 or 370?
370 is really great. I can close up a lot.
I Canada 4 kilo power, Roger, climb and maintain flight level 370.
I'm making 370, I can close up a lot.
So I'm just gonna turn it on, just because, and Yeah, I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Reliable 412, we're ready to go, runway 15.
Reliable 412 up to the punch flight heading 180, runway 15, clear for takeoff.
So, the next waypoint is actually, the next waypoint is Montreal itself, which is 16.3. So let's go 16.3 on nav 1. 16.3 set, and that radial is a 288. .288 set. And that's what we do after. But we won't pick up. The VOR isn't strong enough out in this distance, so we won't pick up the Montreal VOR until we've gone away from Millinocket. So we need to go outbound on Millinocket for a little bit before we reach the Canadian, Montreal VOR. Look at that! Look at that weather layer. That is cool. Now, you know, people complain about the weather representation in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I mean, if you compare this visually to anything that came before it, it's just not a contest. This just looks so much more immersive to fly in. These sorts of layers and these sorts of weather systems coming up and down, penetrating through the different layers vertically. It just looks so cool. Oop.
Reliable 412, radar contact, the altitude please.
72,300, reliable 412.
Reliable 412, thanks. Clear direct Marconi. Find and maintain level 320.
Direct Marconi up to 320, reliable 412.
So, ice is detected. We're about halfway through the flight now. We've got about 37 to 40 minutes left in the flight. And the next frequency we will be going to is Unicom. So we're going to put Unicom on COM 1. There we go. I am going to actually leave the cockpit for a few minutes, and I will be back shortly. I will do that, though, after we tune the outbound radial of Millinocket. So we're just going to leave... it's actually 288, so let's go roll control, and then let's go 288, like so, set. And then let's go... let's just go heading hold. That'll be fine. And then after we pass over the VOR in 6 nautical miles and we go outbound, we will want to tune the 288 radial outbound. And then as we fly outbound, we will pick up the Montreal VOR on nav 1, and then we'll tune that, and that'll take us directly into Montreal. But we'll be on Unicom at that point, so it'll be completely our own navigation. We won't have an ATC controller telling us what to do, but we're going to descend and fly and approach. We're going to use an ILS into Montreal. So everything's looking good. Weather radar's still on, but it's not showing us anything at the moment. Let's just turn the gain up slightly. See if that does any difference. Because I do see some relatively significant...
SW 500, you're leaving my airspace. New York is offline. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved. See ya.
3.7 nautical miles. .7. Yeah, look at that weather system. Just huge. You see how the rest of this cloud is smooth, and then this cloud underneath is all rough. I love cruising between the layers in a regional vintage airliner. It's really cool. Flying a radial. No GPS, no nothing. It's just you can see the offset wind. We've got a 41 knot crosswind, yeah. Right, we're probably... Yeah, yeah, we're outbound now, so let's go back to beam. Magnetic 288. That should capture. Yeah, we're close to it. Yeah, yeah, that should capture soon. Yeah, we're close to it. We'll just edge over to it and yep, there you go. There you go. It's green now, so it's gonna take that radial. Okay. Boston Center, Canadian Regional 562 requesting we step away from the cockpit for 4 to 5 minutes.
Happy report back.
We'll call when we're back. Thanks, 562.
Boston Center, hello, Southwest 32, which is level 380, direct Alex. Southwest 1232, Boston Center, roger.
Boston Center, good day, Delta 1 Tango, Mike, leveling off at flight level 380.
Delta 1 Tango, Mike, Boston Center, roger.
Boston Center, American 1918, request 5 minutes out of the cockpit.
Approve, report back.
Center, good afternoon. Delta 2842 is on the ground at Portland with the weather, requesting IFR to Boston.
Delta 2842 Boston, hello, call me a sec. Delta 1845, Delta 2842 Boston cleared to the Boston Airport via Kennebunk. Sorry, radar vectors Kennebunk, Echo, November Echo. Then the Ocean 5 arrival into Boston. Maintain 3000. Expect flight level 160, 5 minutes after departure. Score 53.
Ooh, we have some turbulence.
Alright, clear to Boston via radar vectors Kennebunk for the Ocean 5 arrival. Climb 3000, expect 16,000, squawk 5353 for Delta 2842.
Delta 2842, read back correct. Advised rate of taxi, expect runway 11.
We'll call for taxi, expecting 11, Delta 2842, thanks.
And Boston Center, Canadian Regional 562 is back in the cockpit.
Welcome back.
I came back to some turbulence there. I'll have to watch the recording back.
Contact Boston Center 123.75, get it?
Yeah, we went through that system there.
Boston 12375.
Jazz 3432, contact Boston Center 123.75, get it?
Whew.
12375 for Jazz 3432.
Fuel check, we've still got over 2 tons on either side. And arrival time is about half an hour now.
Boston Center, good afternoon. That's 2650. We are 5,000 on departure. We're trying to reach departure, but we're getting no response back.
That was 2650. I'll try to talk to some.
Perfect. You want us to head back over that way?
Boston contact with the American 4674, flight level 360.
Making 46 for Boston Center, Roger. Alright, Southwest 2650, yeah, looks like you had a disconnect of some sort. Let me take a look here. Climb and maintain 14,000 for now.
14,000, Southwest 2650.
Southwest 2650, you can switch to departure now 133.0.
330, 2650, talk to you in a few.
Southwest 032, that's what, cockpit for 10 minutes.
I'm sorry, say again?
Southwest 032, getting on the cockpit for 10 minutes.
Absolutely, report back.
The one thing about this seat, if you move the seat forward, like your view all of a sudden is like inside the seat. It's
Boston
like,
Center, good afternoon. Nova Jet.
and then when you look down and you want to use, when you want to turn the use the autopilot,
Center,
I suppose
American.
you have to move like that.
1126 to flight level 320.
American 1126, Boston Center, hello, break, Nova Jet 70, Boston, I'm sorry, say again? Oh, sorry, disregard. Radar contact. Delta 63, traffic 12 o'clock, 30 miles, opposite direction, flight level 370 and A320, 1000 below, reporting sight.
Sorry, we're looking Delta 63. Boston Center, good afternoon. Nova Jet 70, flight level 420.
Nova Jet 70, Boston Center, roger. American 2142, traffic 12 o'clock, flight level 380 to 1000 above. This is 24 miles opposite direction at 737, reporting sight. Thank you much.
Okay, hopefully not long, and we'll be hitting that that VOR limit. I think it's a 130 nautical mile VOR at Montreal, so we should be there soon. Maybe another 20-30 nautical miles.
And the Medic 106, standby.
Yeah, look, we got rain systems ahead of us. Look at that. Look at that ice rain.
Delta 63 traffic flight.
Thank you.
Alright, straight through that ice rain. Of course, nothing on the weather display. Of course. I wish proper, accurate weather displays would be a thing, but apparently it's not. We're down to 0.6 Mach, so we shaved off a little 0.02 Mach. I think that may have been the engaging of the engine anti-ice, maybe slightly reduced the
And the
power.
Medic 106, you ready to copy?
That's my theory.
Medic 106, clear to destination Tampa. Radar vectors KC, then are filed. Maintain 10,000, expect level 380, 5 minutes after departure. Score 1352.
clear to Tampa Case, expect vehicles and KC, flight level 1000 for the moment. Expect 380 to 10 minutes, squawk 1352, nomadic 106.
Just confirm squawk 1352.
1352, nomadic 106.
Nomadic 106, you're back correct, advise ready for taxi number 1, break, Air Canada 4 Kilo Papa, Air Canada 4 Kilo Papa, Boston.
Air Canada 4 Kilo Papa, go ahead.
Verify maintaining flight level 370.
Yeah, we are on 370 with standard parameter.
Thank you.
Huh,
Good evening,
wow.
Boston Center, JetBlue 106 with you, breaking 10,000 for 14,000.
JetBlue 116, Boston Center, roger, climb and maintain flight level 220.
Climb maintaining flight level 220, JetBlue 106.
American 2142, next stop,
Whoa,
traffic 1 o'clock,
massive
11
wind
miles, level
shears.
380, 1000 above, 737 for traffic site. American 2142, the one behind, 26 miles, 12 to 1 o'clock,
Massive wind
380
shears.
as well, 747, report in sight. Thank you.
Boston Center, Canada 920 with you, passing through 12,800 to 14,000.
Canada 920, Boston Center, climb and maintain flight level 320.
Level 320, Canada 920.
American 1918, contact Boston Center 123.75, getting.
Boston Center 2375, American 1918.
Sadly, there's no Montreal ATC on yet, if there would be any. But we've got full staffing in between Halifax and Boston, which looks really cool. And, Washington Dallas is fully staffed as well, wow.
Delta 1 Tango Hotel, traffic 12 to 1 o'clock, distance 13 miles, flight level 370 to 1000 below, and A320, report traffic in sight. Jazz 3432 Boston. American 4674, traffic 12 to 1 o'clock, distance 26 miles, opposite direction, flight level 370 and A320, report traffic in sight.
American 4674, we have traffic in sight.
Thank you, break, American 2142, traffic 12 to 1 o'clock, distance 24 miles, opposite direction, flight level 360 and A319 has you in sight, report the traffic in sight.
We have the traffic in sight, American 2142.
Thank you. And Canada, I'm sorry, American 4674, another piece of traffic, distance 19 miles and about 11 o'clock, flight level 370 and 737 report traffic in sight.
American 4674, we hold that traffic in sight.
Thank you, break, Canada 4 Kilo Papa traffic, 11 o'clock, the distance 15 miles opposite direction, flight level 360 and A319 report traffic in sight.
We have 7 sight, and Air Canada 4 Kilo Papa.
Thank you.
And Center Delta 2842 is Portland, ready to taxi.
Delta 2842, runway 11, taxi
not long
Alpha.
before we pick up
Alpha,
Montreal. That is choppy.
That's 654 to Victor, contact Boston Center, 123.75.
Boston Center, American 01, it's over at Alex level 340.
American 001, Boston Center, roger. Canada Air 562, relieving my space, bunkers of, Montreal offline. Radar service 78 change approved, see ya.
Over to Unicom, thanks for ATC at Canadian Regional 562.
Canadian Regional, I'll remember that next time.
Boston Center, good afternoon, Canada 3940.
Okay, over to Unicom. It's going to be quiet now for a bit, and let's just watch that VOR while I pick up the weather for Montreal. Let's pick up the meta for Montreal. See what's going on. Oh, interesting. Oh, right. So we have minimum VFR, so that did just update. Yep, so it's a crosswind of 4 knots on runway 24. Visibility is 3 miles. Ceiling is 6,200. So it's overcast 7,500, broken 6,200, and a few at 500. So it's 16 Celsius with rain and mist. So that sounds fun. So it's going to be a right-hand crosswind into 2-4. Let's go and have a look at the. We could go 2-4 left or 2-4 right. I think I'm going to go 2-4 right. And that's going to be 11.9 on a 237 localizer. And yep, and just as we talk about it, we now have the Montreal VOR. So let's go over to nav and beam. So now we're tracking inbound Montreal. And we need to start thinking about descending. We know that we're 126 nautical miles away from Montreal VOR, which is not exactly where the airfield is. If we have a look at a little nav map, which is invaluable for this sort of flying, you see we're now going inbound to Montreal, but the VOR is northwest of the airfield. So we need to descend, and we need to be 3,000 and at the correct speed for the ILS. So we need to be 3,000 about here, which means that we need to start descending probably about now. I'm going to say we can begin a leisurely descent. So let's go down to 3,000 feet. Let's just double check. Let's have a look at the descent checklist. So fasten seatbelt signs are already on. Pressurization needs to be set. So let's just set that down to TT switches need to be on takeoff. Landing data is checked. Bugs are set. Crew briefing is not complete yet, but we will do that as we descend. So let's begin descent and bring back the throttle. I think that's enough for the moment. Let's stick between 1,000 to 2,000 feet per minute in the descent. That's actually a bit too sharp. Let's just bring that back up a little bit, like so. That is better. And the closer we get, the closer we can monitor that. We can adjust that. Okay, so now we're beginning the descent. Things are gonna get a little bit quieter outside. Let's start thinking about the approach. So let's go to, oh, not the GNS. We don't need that. It's the Navigraph. So, the approach we're going to be taking is 24 right, which is here, ILS runway 24 right. So again, frequency for the ILS is 11.9er, and it's a 237 localizer. The approach altitude should be 3,000 feet. So that's why we've got 3,000 feet set as our lowest. Yeah, the lock DME is 1093, so we could put that on nav 2. And the final approach course, like we say, is 237. Decision height, the full decision height is 306. See, RVR 26 or a half. The decision height straight in landing with a glide slope out is 520, but with the ILS DME, let's go 350. So let's set 350. Well, actually, so if it's 350, yeah. .350 set. Coming down to 17,000 feet, so we're actually coming down to local barometric pressure now because we're in America. Oh no, again, I must apologize. We are not in America, apparently, as of like 5 minutes ago. So, but I think that rule in Canada still applies. Everything under 18,000 is local barometric pressure. So, let's do the crew completing the approach checklist. We will do soon. Everything's going according to plan so far. We got 98 nautical miles inbound to Montreal. Cabin is descending slowly. All seems good and right and proper. Speed is okay. That crosswind is pretty amazing. And it's interesting, we're going to have a right crosswind on approach, whereas right now we have a left-hand crosswind. So we're going to see some shifty winds as we descend. Yes, I think based on my charts, I'm going to increase my rate of descent somewhat and silence the horn. And just coast down. We don't see Montreal yet, but we're fairly close. Do love this aircraft. I need to. The one thing with the F28 is it is hard to find accurate historical data on the routes that these things flew across America in the 80s and 90s. So if anyone has any good sources for specifically F28 American Canadian routings, I would love to know, because I'd love to fly America and get to know America better with the F28. Okay, we are sub 250 knots. So as we come down through 10,000 feet, we should be fine. We've already got, like we say, we've already got the fasten seatbelt and no smoking signs on. All is well with the world. Let's just double check to see if any sneaky ATC has come online in the last couple of minutes that we are not aware of. Coming into Montreal, because it would be lovely to have some Montreal ATC for arrival. Apparently not. There is just this massive event. It looks like it's an event on the eastern seaboard, or it's just maybe it's just a normal Saturday afternoon, evening. See here, we've got some sort of Copenhagen over in the UK. Yeah, all sorts of fun things going on. Yeah, we've got more approach on Mur. Yeah, we've got Helsinki. Yeah, we've got a lot going on. It's a busy Saturday. Yeah, busy Saturday for VATSIM. Nice to see. Oh wow, look at that. We've got some South African. Yeah, got Cape Town on. That's really cool. Jobo to Cape Town. Good to see. But for the moment, we are quiet in Montreal, so. Okay, continuing the descent. down through 11,000 feet. Ice is detected. Cabin pressure is continuing to decrease. All is good. Just decrease slightly more because I can see we're close to that 250 restriction. So let's just be on the low side of that. Let's actually just pull out thrust idle for the moment as we come down through 10,000. So down through 10,000, let's get the lights on, like so, and the signs are on as well. On final, we'll do seats for landing for the cabin crew. 72 nautical miles outbound. I do love the terrain in Microsoft Flight Simulator as well. It's just so lovely to fly across places in the world that it may not be like street level detail, but it's lovely to look at because you really are looking most of the time. I mean, Canada's sometimes a bit quite patchy, but most of the time you're looking at actual photorealistic, you know, satellite imagery. So all these roads are real, these houses, these tree, you know, forests, clumps of trees and fields and stuff. It's all real, as seen from satellites. So that's, I always enjoy that. Coming into Montreal, this is going to be really enjoyable. I'm really looking forward to this arrival. The low visibility, Montreal as well. Montreal's always somehow, for some reason, Montreal's always been a favorite for me in Canada. Montreal, Toronto, they've been favorites for me. Vancouver, Alaska. I don't fly it on the channel much, but I fly for my own personal enjoyment around these places. I've been doing a lot of air. What is it called? Oh, it begins with O. Ontario, Air Ontario. There you go. Took me a second. F28 Air Ontario flights up in Thunder Bay, Dryden, Winnipeg. I will have to do that on a video soon when the weather is appropriately Canadian, and that's going to be a lot of fun because Dryden is so tough. There's like if the wind isn't right, then you're kind of screwed because it's only got one ILS approach and nothing else. And for an F28 that doesn't have GPS, you're kind of screwed because you can't do an RNAV or a GPS approach. It has to be that one ILS, and if the wind is bad, then you probably need to divert to Winnipeg. So, but the icing up there is so savage. I mean, there was an Air Ontario crash, a famous Air Ontario crash of an F28 that didn't have a working APU, and it was taking off from Dryden, and of course, obviously, you either need the GPU or the APU to start the engines, and they didn't want to start the engines while connected to the GPU. So I think they kept an engine running while on the taxi ramp, while loading and unloading passengers. I think they kept the engine 2 running while they loaded from the left side, I think. And then they did do some de-icing, but I think there was a delay, and it meant that by the time they were lined up for takeoff, the de-icing was ineffective. The de-icing that had been done on the aircraft fuselage was you might as well have just needed to taxi back in and de-ice the aircraft because it had been sat there for a while, and because of parasitic drag, it crashed on takeoff from Dryden. So I'll talk a bit more about that when we do that video, but for now, let's just focus. We're coming down through 5,000 feet. I'm going to slow the aircraft down. We've got some weather off the 1 o'clock, which has finally come on the weather radar. So that does concern me, but it's off to our 1 o'clock as opposed to our 12 o'clock, so that's not too bad. So let's tune the Montreal VOR, which is 11.9. 11.9 set, and the frequency is 237. set. So we'll come in on the ILS on nav 2. So 1,000 to go, outsell. Coming down through 4,000 feet. Yeah, it looks like it's getting quite low here now. Now, let's stop that from spamming away. Now, I don't see any aircraft on the ground at Montreal. Oh, I do see one, actually. Okay. Okay, we won't go flaps 11 yet. Yep, there's the rain. Yep, so the outside air temperature is now like 11, 12 Celsius. And that weather does not look good on the terrain, on the weather radar. Let's put that gain back a bit slightly. That's just all red. I don't like the look of that. Okay, I need to really look at my instruments now, because this is going to get sketchy if I don't pay attention. There's my angle of attack. You can see that wavering around. Okay, so the approach checklist. No smoking spines on. Altimeter is set. Anti-icing has been checked. Landing lights switches are on. Landing warning switch normal or alternate. Set. There's the rain. Goodness me, that's thick. That is thick. We're 200 knots, so we're okay at the moment. Let's go heading hold. And nav 2. Actually, no, let's stay on nav 1 for the moment. Yeah, we'll wait for nav 2 to we'll wait for that nav 2 needle to go alive before we switch over to it. Well, let's just stay on heading hold at the moment. We're bang on the radials. That's no problem. Excuse me. We just monitor the speed, the attitude. 3,000 feet set at 1004, QNH 1004. I think in Canada they use altimeter instead of QNH. I can't remember off the top of my head. But that's not important right now. What's important is that we've got a 20 knot crosswind from the south. And the... Yeah. The ceiling is broken at 400 feet. So this is going to be a very low visibility approach. So let's make a call on Unicom. Montreal traffic, Canadian Regional 562 is 3,000 feet, approximately 30 nautical miles outbound, setting up for a 2-4 right approach on the ILS. Okay, we basically just stay on this inbound radial to the VOR until we pick up the localizer for the ILS. Yeah, the METAR just updated. The METAR is still 5 knots from due west. The wind is supposed to be 5 knots due west, which is... So currently, we've got a side wind of 19 knots, but it's supposed to be a headwind of 5 knots as we descend. So it's a bit crazy. Okay, as we get closer, I'm going to start just to decelerate slightly. Yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy weather. We're on a full red. We're right in the middle of it. But we have an ILS. So there's that. And there's a 777. No, it's a 787. An Air Canada 787 on the ground at Montreal. Okay. 24 right. Nah. Oh, shoot. Yes, okay. That's correct. Yep, nope. Yep, we've still not got any navigation for that yet. Hoping to pick that up anytime now. A little bit nervous that I'm not going to even pick it up. I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need that localizer anytime soon. Anytime soon. Oh! We've got a bit of a freeze. Okay, thankfully that wasn't a crash. Okay. Let's just go thrust idle to get down to about 180 knots or 17. No lower than 160. So our landing is going to be flaps 25. Yeah, we'll do a flaps 25 landing because of the turbulence, as opposed to a flaps 42 landing. And a flaps 25 landing should be 239 on approach. Okay, there's 175 indicated. 170 indicated. .165 indicated. Let's just bring the thrust up again. Okay. So we've got the localizer now. Let's just pull the chart one last time to double check that is a localizer frequency. Sorry, that is an ILS frequency rather than a localizer frequency. Approach 24 right. Yep, the ILS is 11.9er on 237. 11.9er on 237. So we should have a glide slope. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to arm the beam now. We don't have any... Yes, we do. 25.4 nautical miles outbound. That is the DME of the ILS. So we now have a DME. We do not have a glide slope, though, and that is concerning me. But we should pick that up, hopefully, soon, he says. I'm really happy, actually, about this, the way this video's turned out. This weather is perfect for this sort of thing because it teaches you not to look out the window. And you can't look at a magenta line, so you've got to look at your instruments and trust them. Yep, there's the glide slope. Right, let's arm glide as well. So we're fully set up, ready for the approach. We'll do the final on we'll do the final checklist on landing. And it's just watching. I'll call localizer established on the frequency when ready. Whoa! Oh, okay, that's 2009er. That looked like 2000 for some weird, that kind of optical illusion. That looked like 2,000 feet for a second, and I was like, whoa! But that's That's 2,900. And it's, yeah, there you go, and it's just flipped over to 3,000, but it looked like 2,000 for a second. Thought I just lost 1,000 feet and I didn't realize. Okay, 20 nautical miles. $19. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to open that. Just refresh VATSIM. Make sure we, Ooh. Someone has just left me Etsy feedback. Excellent. That's exactly, there's the glide slope. Okay, good. There's the glide slope. And that's before the ILS. So that's concerning. Hopefully we capture it. We don't blow through it. Yep, there you go. We've captured the glide. And there is the ILS as well. We are turning, so okay. Let's just get some speed brake. Let's just get a hold of this situation. There's the glide slope. Flaps 11. The speed is coming down now. Very nicely. Right, gear is coming down. Montreal traffic, Canadian Regional 562 as localizer established and descending with the glide, runway 24 right, Montreal traffic. Okay, gear is down, 3 greens. Landing is skid control, let's check that. Outboards and inboards, we have skid control set. Let's not get too slow. Brake pressures, go flaps 25 set. Brake temps. I don't know where the brake pressure. I don't know where the brake pressure is. We're above the glide. Lift dumpers. We need to arm them, like so, and flaps have been set. So the after landing checklist. So, concerningly, we are above the glide. We need to get below it. We're at 1,700 feet. Let's go pitch. No, we can't click pitch now that we're on the... Okay. Well, we're 1 dot above the glide, so we'll just have to do what we can. That is a little bit concerning. We're a little bit slow as well. Let's just increase the thrust. Okay. Oh, crap. What's that? Okay. Yep, we can just about see the... we can just about see below. Remember that... layer is 400 feet, so we do have... So we're down through 1,000, and we are starting to see, which is helpful. Yep, and let's actually go manual now and just point the nose down. There we go. And I see the leading lights. Look at that. See the leading lights. And there are the houses, the big buildings. Okay, we're still above. We're above. Goodness me. Continue. Continue. The wind is throwing us around here. We're fine. Yep. Terrain GPWS, it's fine. We're doing a reduced. Oh my goodness. Right. Here we go. How's the brakes? Without a magenta line and a modern avionics system, it does just start to make you feel a bit nervous, that sort of approach. So okay, let's get the strobe off, let's get the lights off, and let's start the APU. Starting the APU. Montreal traffic, runway 24 right is vacated. Yeah, there's a weird elevation issue on the taxiway, and I thought they would have fixed it, because this is a good scenery. These scenery developers don't screw around, so I don't know why that weird glitch on the taxiway is not fixed yet. And there's another one, look at that. Bouncing around. Oh, yep. You didn't see that. Okay, just coming straight in. Okay, APU is online. Let's get the gen on and the bleed air on. Just breathing a sigh of relief. I really enjoyed that. Oh, that was so much fun. Okay, the Air Canada has pushed back. There he is. And we will come and we will take one of these. We'll take the remote terminal. I'm not going to turn... You see, if I turn on the windscreen wiper, it does absolutely nothing. This makes no sense. We've got a lovely raindrop effect, and the wipers do absolutely nothing to it. It doesn't make sense to me. Look at the rain. Okay, so the APU is on, speed brake is in, lift dumpers are in, flaps are up, airfoil anti-icing switches are off. Just throw ourselves here. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I mean, despite having no ATC at the end, thoroughly enjoyed that. I will definitely be doing more Canadian regional flying in and around Canada. Come on. Oh no. Come on. There we go. Park brake on. APU, GPU is on. Do we have load on the gen? Yes, we do. Okay. Sometimes these click spots are a bit... Whew. Okay, let's get the chocks in. Chocks and ground power. That was a ton of fun. That was a ton of fun, and he's going to go outbound now. And we're just going to sit here on We're going to sit here on the GPU. Well, folks, and again, look at this. We've got the lovely sight of a 777 Air Canada taxiing out as we go. Folks, I don't know about you, but there are some flights where I finish them and I think, boy oh boy, why on earth did I do that and waste people's time when they watch it? But I enjoyed that. That was thoroughly, I don't know. There's something about watching a vintage airliner fly through the sky and being able to make it happen, all on raw data, all 100% raw data. There's no GPS, there's no nothing. It's just the way it used to be done, and I'm very passionate about that. And I just love the fact that we have such a lovely little regional vintage airliner like this to do this on VATSIM and on Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Customs parking, taxiing to runway 24 left, Montreal.
So I enjoyed that. Give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, guys. I never say that, but you know, maybe I should. There we go. I've said it. Okay. Have a good weekend, guys, and I will catch you later.